Joining us now is number one New York Times bestselling author and the most listened to woman in political talk radio, my good friend, Laura Ingraham, with her new book, The Obama Diaries. Laura, welcome to the Savage Nation.
Hey, Michael, how are you? I love being on a show hosted by a man who's banned by all the right people. So I'm feeling very good and very positive to be in the company of the banned Savage.
Well, Laura, you said on your show this morning you were talking about the ban, and we're going to talk about your book, but just a quick question to you. Do you fear similar restrictions either in the form of an England-style travel ban or in the form of the fairness doctrine here in America?
I think that given the desperation we're seeing from the left, that anything, Michael, is possible. I mean, the fact that you, as an American citizen who has been convicted of no crimes, who has been accused of no crimes, is now not allowed to travel to Britain because of your views, when that can happen, I'm telling you, anything can happen. And it is shocking, frankly, that more people who claim to be for free speech haven't talked about this. And it's shocking that more people aren't just completely up in arms about an absolute clampdown on the First Amendment and the freedom of association and speech, which is all wrapped up in this ban. And
now let's talk. I don't want you to waste your time talking about me. I can take care of myself, lady. I want to talk about your book. Right now, it's number 6 on Amazon. I want it to be number 1 by the time you're off the air. So let's talk about the premise of your book, The Obama Diaries. Let me start with Michelle Obama's frightening speech yesterday before the NAACP, where she says the U.S. still suffers from a stubborn inequality. Can you believe that, Laura?
Well, Michelle Obama, as it's revealed in these diaries that I got possession of, okay? I don't know how, but I got possession of these diaries, okay? Now they're the American public's possession. People have to read them and decide for themselves. But in the diaries that I have, absolutely echoes the sentiments that she raised yesterday in that NAACP speech, Michael. I mean, this woman tried to rebrand herself. Desiree Rogers tried to help her rebrand herself to the mom-in-chief from that first time I'm proud to be an American comment, right? She had to rebrand.
Yes.
So she went into rebranding mode. She started the garden and the kids in the garden and planting the seedlings in the garden. But guess what? In the end, she's still the same old Michelle Obama, radical from the 1980s, who has a chip on her shoulder and a sense of entitlement that I think is beginning to wear on people and irritate people, especially in an economic downturn. I mean, that woman did such a quick drop-by in Panama City. I mean, the only thing that I guess the locals got that visit, she went to this Pink Pelican ice cream bar, Michael, and I kid you not, this is not a fiction. I kid you not, she ordered a chocolate hurricane ice cream cone. I mean, if you're going to the Gulf Coast,
yeah, that's not quite the right thing. But what is she doing when she goes to the NAACP? Why is she trying to stir them up? Is because the Democrats are in such trouble they're trying to stir their base up? Is that obviously what this is all about?
100%. What Michelle is doing is acting as a political agent dressed in couture. Okay, she's a political agent. She always has been. The idea that she was going to be some, let's help the girls with their homework, have the romantic strolls with Barack and play with Bo the dog. That's not what Michelle Obama is. Michelle Obama has and always has wanted to be in politics, and I believe this is setting the groundwork for her political future. I believe she is probably annoyed, as we've seen in these diaries, in the Obama diaries. She's annoyed.
You don't think that Michelle's going to take Blago's position as governor, do you?
I think Michelle could follow in the footsteps of Hillary Clinton and run for the Senate in Illinois. Absolutely. 100%.
Now, in your book, Laura Ingraham, in your book, The Obama Diaries, you speak about the Obama razzle-dazzle. What exactly is that?
Razzle is basically their way of creating a theater of diversion. And it's using the media as their, of course, their cover and their celebrity status to create this spectacle. You know, the sparkly dust, like when you're a kid, you throw up that sparkle dust and it kind of coats everything and everything looks beautiful for a moment. That's what the razzle dazzle is. So I talk about all these things that they've done. In Michelle's grand garden rollout, where she had cabinet secretaries traveling with her to Philadelphia to talk about the food deserts that are plaguing our country, where people apparently can't get food. I've never heard about that, but apparently that's a big problem. Where we talk about Bo the dog, the rollout of Bo the dog, like it's the Normandy invasion. Okay.
Wait a minute. Hold it. Now I have to tell you, I think that my dog Teddy Savage is probably more famous than their dog. Why do all these people get dogs and then no one ever sees them again? What, do they give them away after Christmas? Tell us about, one thing that bothers me a little bit is the cover-up inside the White House. Isn't it odd that a first grandmother lives there?
Well, the first grandmother lives there, but I happen to think that if you give her some sodium pentothal, Michael, I have a feeling that a lot of common sense would come out of that woman's mouth. Because remember, she was given one opportunity to speak to the press, and then they shut her down. And
what did she say? What did the first grandmother, Marion Robinson, say?
She said that basically she said she was annoyed that Michelle was on this health food kick with the kids, and that.
Oh my God, she didn't say that.
And she said, "Look, if kids want something to eat, give them something to eat." I think she actually said, "If kids want fried chicken, give them fried chicken. Like, not a big deal." And so she kind of seems like kind of a regular person. And
so she's actually a threat. This morning I was bicycling and I see a mother feeding two little white boys their breakfast, and they're eating a fruit salad and a croissant. And I said, the boys in America, the white boys in particular, talk about food, are being fed a diet so inadequate for their needs that I wouldn't be surprised if boys like that, the white boys of the American suburbs, were not to lactate at age 13. I've never seen anything like this. They're raising a nation of lactating boys with these diets.
I love the fact, Michael, that she goes to the NAACP yesterday, and we have cities crumbling, we have school systems crumbling, we have families in complete chaos and disarray all over America, but especially in the black community. She talks about this. Well, I want to say that, as I've told my children, dessert is not a right. Dessert.
But what does that mean? Please, what does that mean? You meaning that if you have dessert, it's decadent?
No, but then she has her chocolate hurricane down at the Pink Pelican, down a couple hours later in the Gulf Coast. So it's.
But Laura, the Obama Diaries is a satire, correct?
Well, people call it a satire, Michael, but this is my response to that. This is what I say. Yeah, there's some mocking in this book for sure, but he, every day, as you have cataloged on the Savage Nation, brilliantly, I might add, he mocks the U.S. Constitution and, frankly, the American people. He disregards them. He dismisses them. In this book, I think people will find more truth. This is not salesmanship. This is the truth. You will find more truth and more insights in this book than you will in any Robert Gibbs press conference, in any spectacular razzle-dazzle orchestrated with Steven Spielberg and George Clooney and Beyonce and Shakira and the rest of the starlets who seem to basically have an office in the West Wing these days. You'll find more truth in those pages than you will in any of the things that they're trying to pull over the American people. So that's my answer to that. People can decide for themselves if it's satire or if it's real.
These diaries, you say, were a first-hand account of the Obama presidency as it happened, in the words of those who shaped it. I understand what you're trying to do here. But you are, Laura, living in Washington, D.C., and you really do, come on, you circulate with the in crowd, don't you? I mean, they like you.
I don't really, well, they like me. Well, if anyone liked me, they probably won't like me after this book. I mean, look,
Oh, so you're going to be welcome to my club. You might be banned in Washington after this.
Believe me, Michael, I guess I wish sometimes that I had a social life, but I have two little kids, 5 and 2, so I don't really have much of a social life to speak of. And you know something? I have my dog Lucy, and I have two beautiful kids, and I have great friends and great family, and that's kind of good enough for me. Occasionally I'll go out, but not.
But you have colleagues in the talk radio business like myself. Now, you accuse the president of being something everyone thinks he is, which is a narcissist. But, Laura, let's be clear, one person to the other. Isn't everybody in politics somewhat of a narcissist?
I think you're onto something. Of course, we all in entertainment, we all have some narcissistic
That's right.
tendencies.
In other words, we have it too. We're talk show hosts. We're slightly narcissistic. So why is his narcissism so grating is the question. Is that he's a bad actor?
Right. Well, no.
Is it that he leans his head back and looks down like Mussolini at everybody? Is that what gets to you?
You see him on the 4th of July, Michael, when he was in that Hugo Chavez-like short-sleeve shirt on the White House balcony. I've never seen anything like it. On the White House balcony, like we're his subjects, and he's looking down.
Was he throwing roses down to the masses?
It was reminiscent of one of the old favorite Ava Perón.
He didn't sprinkle roses down to the soy-eating, lactating young boys or anything of that nature, no?
No, Michael, you have to get this straight. Michelle was dropping organic yams from the White House balcony.
Oh, come on. Now you're making this up. That's not in your book, is it?
No. Well, what we do know, Michael, is that there is hilarity, and I think one of the main reasons that.
Oh wait, she dropped organic yams from the White House balcony onto children. That might be considered a hate crime, number one. But think of all the shyster lawyers who could start suing on behalf of the poor children hit by the sweet potatoes.
She's just doling out the abundant produce that is forever coming from this garden. I mean, the Garden of Eden didn't produce as much fruit and vegetables as this garden. I mean, give me a break.
Oh, you're saying the White House garden, they're actually bringing it in from somewhere else to make